Welcome everybody. Come right in, gather round, and let me tell you a story of how King Aaron obtained steel knuckles to go along with his crown. It all started long ago and far away.
Also, Aaron, would you like me to machine you some brass knuckles?
That might be what his should be. That's what his should be. And he can use it in the horror video. With for the city on the crew, for the crew on him. That would be tough.
And so the challenge was set, and now the burden was on yours truly to design, create, machine, and deliver a set of knuckles worthy of the king of Internet City. And in earnest I began. First came with the design, and this is what I came up with. I designed one that said, for the city, and one that said, for the crew. And with that done, it was time to get to machining it. Here you can see me using the machine to figure out exactly where the part is so that it can be machined properly. And the first thing we have to do is clean up the top and make it nice and flat. This is what we call a facing pass. It cleans up the face of the material and makes it flat and ready for further machining. Then the next step is to do the rough outline of the knuckles. We go around it a few times, taking off a little bit at a time. Then we go around it with a smaller tool in order to clean up some of the material left behind that the bigger tool didn't get. with the shape done now, it's on to the engraving portions. First up is the crosses that go on the tips of each knuckle. I took all the engraving a little bit at a time, so it didn't overload the machine, didn't overload the tool, and it didn't hurt the knuckles. So it's gonna take a while. It takes a long time for the engravings, but it's worth it because they look really great in the end. Next up, after we did the crosses, is the words "for the." These ones were pretty simple. They're pretty fast. There's a lot of reasons why, but I won't get into it. They're just really fast. But this next step, this was the one that took the longest for both knuckles. The engraving of the biggest portions, the word city and the word crew. It may have taken a long time, but it definitely was worth it. Like I said, this is the word city being engraved. In the video, you don't actually see it, but I also threw in a chamfer at the end of the video, or at the end of the, once it got done machining the word, around the entire knuckle, in order to clean up the edges and get rid of anything sharp that might cut Aaron, because we don't need him getting cut. Can't have King Aaron getting hurt by his very own knuckles. That would be kind of crazy. Once all the engraving and chamfers were done, it was time for the finger holes to be made. First step was to drill a hole so that another tool could fit into it. Then we drop that other tool down into that hole and widen it so that his actual fingers will fit inside them. Then we take our very last tool and clean up the edges of the hole so that once again he doesn't get cut. Now on this edge I decided instead of a chamfer, I was going to round it out and put a small little radius on it so that it was smoother on the base of his fingers, allowing him to comfortably hold these to deliver a holy beatdown to any ghost that he might encounter. Because, you know, Aaron's going to be doing a lot of ghost hunts in the future. And now that the top portion of the knuckles is done, the last thing we have to do is clean up the bottom. So we flip it over, we put it back in the machine, we take off all the extra material, and then once again we added the chamfer around the entire edge and on the edges of the holes. I opted for a chamfer on the bottom instead of a radius because one, it's a lot easier to machine, and two, on the bottom it's not really that big of a deal. As long as it's not sharp, it's not going to matter. And that is one done. So now all we got to do is repeat the process with some small changes, and then bam, we have a complete set for King Aaron. About halfway through the process, I also decided to make Mikey a set of these. His are made out of aluminum, so his are a little bit faster and easier to get done, but Mikey also has a set of these. So they both got blessed with a set of Holy Knuckles. That being said, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Alright, if you enjoyed what you saw here today, like, subscribe, turn on notifications. There'll definitely be more of this content coming later on in the future. I make cool stuff all the time like this. If you don't like it in the future, you're welcome to unsubscribe. That's fine. But do me a favor, help me out. Hit that subscribe button. And who knows, you might see some cool videos down the line. Appreciate it. Thank y'all. Catch you on the flip side.